Okay, let's create a new document. 640 by 480 is a good size. And frame rate you can keep at 30 if you'd like. You could lower it if you want. Don't make it any greater than that. And let's hit create. Okay, and what we're going to do is set this up. And we're going to have multiple layers. Okay, we're going to call this layer background. And I want you to insert whatever image you want for the background or draw whatever background you want. And then we'll call this foreground, so stuff that's in front of the background. Okay, and then we'll make a new layer and we'll say main character, and then we're going to have at least another layer for the title, and then one more for the actions. Okay, and so I'm just going to set things up real quick and just get you guys to see how we could set our animation up here. So title goes here, title, whoops, and let's stretch that out. Whoops, wrong tool of choice. So let's go ahead and stretch that out. You put your own title on there. I'm going to lock that layer. Main character, I'm just going to draw a stick figure real quick. Okay, here's the main character. Okay, and you obviously make a real detailed, great-looking character. I'm going to lock that. And foreground, let's just make this like the road that he's standing on. Okay, and then the background, we'll set whatever we want to be the background. Let's just pick we'll just make it a sky in the background. Okay, there we go. So that's how we're going to set this up. And now for the actions. Real quick, I'm going to demonstrate something. Okay, I'm going to make a layer. I'm going to make more frames here for a second. I'm going to say insert frame. And on the title layer, I want to right click and say insert blank keyframe. So after it plays, it's going to stop on this first frame, and then when we play it, the title will disappear, okay? But watch what happens when I go control test and just test this. You could see that it's playing. It's just looping through. It's going through all 15 frames and looping back to the beginning. Well, we're going to control that. We're going to stop it on the first frame, and this is how we're going to do that. We're going to go Window Actions, okay? And if I simply type the word stop and then put parentheses, it will actually freeze on that first frame. So we're going to go Control Test, and there you go. It froze on frame 1. Now what we're going to do is create a button so that when we click, it will play. Okay, so we're going to make one more layer. Okay, and let's just make any shape we want, and we're gonna go ahead and make sure all the layers are locked except for this layer here that we're gonna call this the button layer. And we've selected this, and we're gonna go modify, convert to symbol. Let's make this thing a button, and hit OK. And in the properties, we're going to call this thing button. And if we ever want to refer to this in code, we can. OK, now also you can double click and say, and you could put some text on there and say play. Make a new layer inside. You'd see that I'm in the symbol here. I double clicked to get inside here, and I could say, play. OK. And I probably should have set that to a different color, right? So you can actually see it. And here we go. So now I could click back to scene 1. And so what happens when we go control test? Control test. There it is. You click this screen, nothing happens. Okay, so now the button layer, we also want to disappear after the first frame. So we're going to go ahead and put a blank keyframe there as well. So now let's set the code up one step further. We want to make this thing play when we click it. So we're going to Window Actions, back open, and we are going to make a couple spaces, and we're going to actually type something in here. We're going to need to import some abilities, and you have to type this exactly. Okay, event.capital M for mouse, capital E for event. There was no spaces in there. Okay. And then down here, we're going to write a little bit more code. We're going to add what's known as an event listener. So if you've never written any code, this is your first opportunity. So we're going to say mouse, event, And what kind of mouse event? So it's a click. And we're going to make a function name here. I'm going to play cartoon. We just made up a name of a function that we're going to write right now. And so on function play cartoon, we're inventing a function name. And it has to refer to the event. Now this is a colon. See that event? And then colon. And what kind of event? It's a mouse event. And whoops, it completed for me when hey, it added it up here. I don't need to, that's kind of redundant. Ooh, events. Ah, good thing I stumbled upon that. We need an S at the end, apparently. So let me make sure that we delete this. I mistyped that. That's kind of a lucky find. Okay, so now we're going to say play, and you need these parentheses here. Okay, so now let's move this out of the way and go control test. And when we click, it plays through it. Now, in fact, what you're just seeing is it plays the 15 frames and then it loops back to the beginning frame, but it's actually playing. I could demonstrate that further if you want. I will make a new layer and put a motion tween of something. Let me just draw this shape here, and I will just create a motion tween, and I'm going to go to the last frame and move it across the sky so that you can see, in fact, it is actually playing. So go control test. So it's freezing on frame 1. When I push play, there it goes. Okay? So you do not need to have that crazy layer on there. But set up all these other layers so you have a button, a title, main character, foreground, background, and a layer for your actions, and put these blank keyframes. And then we're all set up to create our amazing animations, our cartoons. Okay? So have fun setting that up. Have fun.